When Claude Code 2.0 dropped yesterday, I probably did what all of you did. I ran to my computer to see if it could fix my crappy code that Claude Code 1.0 wasn't doing very well, and get some sweet YouTube views from it. Just kidding. Claude Code 2.0 is bringing us a brand new model, Sonnet 4.5, as well as checkpoints, which is a really cool feature, as well as lots of UI and UX improvements and new extensions and all the things. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through what they actually shipped. I'll show it to you in action, as well as the good things and bad things that I think people should be aware of right now if they're gonna be using Claude Code 2.0. I've been using it to 3 or 4 hours to fix my crappy code, and there's some things you need to know. Let's dive in. So first up, new model alert. Sonnet 4.5. They released this to all the plans, which is kind of handy because I'm on the cheapest one. So you can go to /model here in Claude Code, and it'll fire open the menu Sonnet 4.5 for daily use. Pretty sweet. At the moment, this is crushing all the benchmarks. It's beating GPT-5 codecs, supposedly, although that's not quite my experience, but we'll get to that. By the way, if you fire up Claude Code and it doesn't look any different, it's supposed to auto-update. So you should just be able to exit the session, close down the terminal or VS Code or Cursor or whatever, fire it back up again, and it should work. The old like unplug it and plug it back in trick. And if that doesn't work, you might have to like do the npm install again or go check the docs. New feature alert, checkpoints. I love this. This is what I'm most excited about. So in Cursor and Windsurf and stuff, you would prompt the AI, it would make some changes to a file or multiple files or whatever, and then you could immediately test it out, and then you could keep or like undo. And not just undo that last little bitty change, but everything it just did in this one little session. That's what checkpoints is. Claude Code didn't have that. It just made the changes to the file, and you had to keep track of version control and Git, and then restoring files, and then going back and forth until it worked. This is a lot better. Double escape will bring up the list of these different checkpoints, I guess you could say, which was already there, by the way. You could go back to that prompt, but now you can undo the AI changes. Now, really quick, it just undoes the AI changes. It doesn't do anything that you manually went into your file and changed. There it is right there. Checkpoints apply to Claude's edits, not user edits, or bash commands, which by the way, the AI does. The AI will do bash commands, and just know it doesn't affect that. Prompt the AI, it tries something, nope, quickly undo. That's checkpoint. And look, I don't want to brag, but I tweeted about this way back on August 13th that it needed checkpoints, and now it does, yay. The last two features new are the Agent SDK. I'm not going to talk a ton about this because I don't have a lot of experience with it. They renamed the Agent SDK, as well as added support for sub-agents and hooks and stuff like that. You can build your own AI agents using the Claude Code SDK, or the Agent SDK. And the last big thing is the UI. Claude Code looks different, feels different, both in the terminal and in the new and improved extension for VS Code, Cursor, etc. It looks a little bit less like a terminal here. I'm using Cursor. You can now click more things, like you can click the buttons to accept or reject what it does. You can access your custom commands here. You can access your past chats up here in a new drop-down menu. And again, just everything looks and feels a little different here. There's a much better diff viewer, which you can easily click to expand, hit escape to close. That's a lot better than it used to be. It feels a little bit less like a terminal, but there's also a lot of downsides, which I'll get to in just a moment. So as I walk you through some of the good things and bad things in this 2.0 update, I'm actually gonna kick off a demo right here, trying to fix some of my crappy code. This file download thingy right here in Bulletfinity, right now just opens up in a new tab. And there's the file, there's the document, but I want it to download. So that's it. Let's try and vibe code this, not in the Cursor extension, but rather the terminal. You'll see why in just a moment. So I have my project folder. I'm gonna run Claude, and it should say version 2.0, 2.0.1 right there. I pre-wrote my prompt, so let me just grab that, copy this, come down here, paste it in, and hit enter. I did not give it any additional context to what file to use, what functions to look for, or anything. I did that on purpose because I want to challenge it as much as I can. And I'm gonna do Shift Tab to put on planning mode. We're gonna come back to this in just a moment and see how it did. So the good things that I've experienced. Number one, it's faster. It is, just the entire experience. I think it's actually less to do with the Sonnet 4.5 model and more to do with just the underlying improvements on Claude Code. They did a good job. It's a lot faster. It was starting to become slow, not as slow as Codex, but now it is indeed a lot faster. Okay, I just reviewed my plan right here in the terminal, so I'm gonna do yes and auto accept edits. We'll let that run. My next good thing is a context remaining percentage. In the extension, I have not seen it so far in the terminal version, but when you go to the extension and pull up in a past conversation here, but down here next to the input, it shows a little circle with the percentage of the context window, which is really handy. It's nice to see that. I don't know why it doesn't show automatically when the chat is pulled up, but after running some code, just like the cursor version, it did show that. The last good thing is actually a really big good thing for me personally. The terminal version of Claude Code 2.0, it works really well. Just the speed improvements. Checkpoints works. It does that by /rewind, by the way, or just double escape, which again has always been there. But now when you do double escape, do it right there. There we go. In this entire conversation, you can go back to a different point in time, and now it says 2 files edited, and it will undo that. This is a great feature. I'm glad they implemented it. Again, just the terminal version runs really smoothly. It's very slight changes from the previous version, but it's faster, it's better, new features, it's great. Which kind of leads me to the bad things. Before the bad things, let's actually just test this out to see if it did a good job. I'll go to my little file button and click it. Hang on, let me refresh the page just to make sure. Click this and no, it did not work. It opens in a new tab. All right, so I'm asking it to try again, as well as add some console.log statements. So we'll let this run while I go over the bad things. So it's really just 2 bad things, generally speaking. Number 1, the extension, the IDE version of Claude Code 2.0 is just clunky, it's buggy, it's missing features, it just doesn't work great. Now, they say it's in the beta phase, and they're correct, right? There's a few things. Number 1, there's no rewind. /rewind does not work. There's no checkpoints here. And double escape used to work in the IDE version. It doesn't anymore. Clicking double escape, it doesn't do anything. I've tried clicking here, I've tried clicking here. As we're going through these changes, nothing, nada, checkpoints might as well not exist. Super frustrating. Next up, ask before edits. This is okay. I'm pressing Shift Tab right now, and you can see it's not actually changing this. If I click down here and press Shift Tab, also not changing this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If I fire open Claude Code again from scratch and I do Shift Tab, now it's working. Plan mode, ask before edits, edit automatically. I don't like that this doesn't change colors like it used to, like it does in the terminal version still, but just know half the time, or really more than half the time, I can't get Shift Tab to work either. I have to come down here and I click this button and nothing happens as well. Right now it's changing, even though I can't read it because it's like a bright, ugly green. I'm changing it, but this doesn't work half the time. As soon as you start prompting it, it just kind of bugs out. And actually this only happened once, but one time I was literally trying to click in this input box to start typing more prompts, and the mode would automatically just change when I'm like clicking in here and typing, and I couldn't undo it with Shift Tab, and I was clicking this and nothing was happening. And then right now it's not happening either. Clicking here, Shift Tab, clicking here, Shift Tab, clicking here, Shift Tab, clicking here, Shift Tab. Doesn't work. So again, hopefully these are just small bugs that are fixed, maybe even by the time you're watching this video, but right now using the IDE version is worse. I'm not a big fan. And my last bad thing with Claude Code 2.0 so far, you might disagree with, this might be controversial, but it just doesn't seem to be better at coding. Like the new model, Sonnet 4.5. I've tried 4 fix my crappy code sorts of things so far, and it hasn't really been any better than Codex at all. I just let this one finish again, so let's figure out if it works or not. Go back to my little file download, click this. No, now it's in the same tab. And I also asked it to add some console.log statements, which disappeared, but it did look like it actually did right there. So I just found some article that somebody wrote. Let me see if we can fix it this way. It doesn't trigger the internal download dialog. It just navigates to the file in the same browser tab. Please analyze the following blog post and try that. Let me just paste in this URL, hit accept edits, and we'll see what happens. I've been working in 2 different projects for the past several hours, and it just hasn't done a much better job at actually doing things. About the same. It's not bad. I'm not one of these people on Reddit that's like, Claude Code's dead, long live Codex, or vice versa. I think all of these AI models will fluctuate as they release new updates, but I'm also not one of these hype people who's going to tell you Claude Code 2.0 is mind-blowing, because it's not. It might be slightly better. It's definitely faster. The user experience, in the terminal at least, is a lot better and cooler and more fun. But so far, Sonnet 4.5 is kind of just more of the same. Third and final try here, and then I'm just going to stop recording this video. But supposedly, it went and analyzed that article that I found on download dialogues, and we'll see if it works. So let's come back to the file, right, refresh. Oh, so close. Oh wait, this is a CORS error. It can fix this, hang on. I think it can fix this. We're gonna let it run. One other note, you'll see that the entire text that I copied, pasted in here, but not when I actually pressed the paste button. Pasted text lines, 7+ lines. I really like this. That is no longer the case in the IDE extension, like VS Code or Cursor. Now, when you paste in big old text like that, it actually just pastes it in, which I find to be slightly frustrating. I'll show you what I mean right here. We'll say I'm typing something and then I paste that in, and now it just does this, which is, it's a slight thing, but it's still kind of annoying. Okay, that took approximately 40 seconds, which is a lot faster than Claude Code was taking yesterday. Let me refresh the page. Last time, seriously, last time. Here we go. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Look at this. Boom. Downloaded, that works. And if I click this, it should open in a new tab. Boom, we're done. So my takeaways are, number one, it is definitely faster, both in the extension and in the terminal. Number two, checkpoints are a fantastic add. Really great feature, but they only work in the terminal. Right now, at the time of this recording, they don't work in the extension. And aside from that, the extension is just buggy as all get out right now. Some of the features are kind of missing. Hopefully they bring those back. They made it less like the terminal, which is kind of a shame because the terminal version works really good right now. There you go. That said, last point, the model, I think it's mostly just more of the same. If it is better, it's very slightly better. It's not the mind-blowing things that other YouTubers are saying it is. So that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching this. If you enjoy this video, drop me a fat emoji in the comments. The emoji that best sums up how you feel about Claude Code 2.0. And other than that, like, comment, subscribe, pay me money for things. Thank you. Adios.